The animal kingdom is just full of examples of different species that have had to face dramatic and in some cases very sudden shifts to their natural habitats. For them the choice has been pretty simple: either find a way to adapt, evolve or develop some other method to take advantage of the new normal they find themselves in, or end up consigned to history, just like some of the guys in this. And it seems very much like the broker or sell-side community is undergoing a very similar sort of challenge that show little sign of abating. So, what's behind these changes? How are brokers adapting their own business models? And crucially, which ones will be able to do it in time? The broker's landscape is being reshaped by three separate forces. The first of these is the pattern of liquidity itself, which just keeps on getting more complicated. This is because the venues are in their own battle for survival themselves, and so are releasing a constant stream of new business platforms and matching engines, all with different rules of engagement. The net result of this is completing a client's order to his satisfaction keeps on getting harder. The second factor is something we've talked about before: regulation. The brokers are being hit and swamped by wave after wave of regulation, much of it coming from different geographical epicenters. Where this combines on the same issue, the potential for chaos, confusion and extra cost only seems to go up. And then the final factor that contributes to the perfect storm that's facing these brokers is that pretty much whatever asset class you're trading, you'll find that volumes are either flat or decreasing. And even if they're not, commissions are only going one way, downwards. Some people argue that actually what we're seeing is something very different, and that this is just a simple downtick of a regular business cycle. They can hunker down, ride out the storm and wait for sunnier times to come. Obviously the impact of the global financial crisis can't be ignored, but maybe what it's really done is just mask these changes which were going to happen anyway. If that's true, then the idea you can make a living out of this industry simply by intermediating yourself between your client and the available sources of liquidity looks to be increasingly precarious. The brokers' business models are being evolved and adapted in a number of different ways as they try and find traction in the new environment they find themselves in. The smart ones seem to be going down two different routes. The first of these is all about size. It's about having as many customers as possible. It's about connecting to every source of liquidity and then using technology in order to grind out as many economies of scale as possible. As well as being aimed at the traditional buy side, this type of service is also aimed squarely at the smaller and mid-tier brokers who simply can't afford to connect to every pool of liquidity that appears on the horizon. The second approach is to evolve new capabilities to take advantage not just of the perfect storm, but the slower moving flow monster leviathans. Those firms that have gone down this route have recognized that their value add is as much about analyzing the different routes to market and smart order routing algorithms that they're using as it is about the stocks themselves. In short, it's all about trying to turn the regulatory burden of best execution into competitive edge. This can be achieved by combining macro information about a stock together with micro intelligence held within the firm, and this way turning good traders into great ones. So how does all this end up? Well, really your guess is as good as mine, although it does seem very clear that the changes to the broker's environment are permanent and aren't going to go away. And so standing still simply isn't an option.